Hello everyone, this is Scramble from Emotionless Crypto Trading. Here we go with another video presentation on YouTube for two cryptocurrencies. We're going to do technical analysis today. The first one is NEO, the second one is going to be Litecoin. In the next few minutes, we're going to discuss the important data and the language behind the technical analysis that I'm going to share with you in the purpose of defining the most important price points for our future. As you may know, we're not doing price predictions. We're not doing any sort of financial investment advices here. This is purely reading the technical details and sharing them with you in order to present you the probabilities, right? So we all know that trading is purely based on probabilities, and that's what we actually trade, a high probability in a specific direction. So before we get started, we have a $212 billion market cap totally. 24 hours volume is average $12 billion. As I've said it in my other videos as well, there's nothing special going these days. NEO is basically ranked 15 right now with $15.68 basically on CoinMarketCap. Litecoin is doing better, almost a $3 billion market cap, 3 times bigger than NEO's one, $50.75 as just raw data. Here we go, this is NEO paired up with a US dollar, 60 minutes candlestick, Bitfinex exchange. That's when we get started. We're going to take the brush and we're going to start speaking. Right, so what we have first thing is this all-time high position of our current structure. Attention, we did had a few days in a row where the market was increasing quite nicely. It was doing it for the entire market, including, specifically, I want to underline this, the altcoin market, which is gaining more than the BTC market whenever there is a little uptrending channel or a big bull run, right? So we had this thing happening until what was that? That was actually 7th of November. That was the time our uptrending channel has been stopped, and since that we're just facing a downtrending channel as well. Great, so we had for NEO 17.30 cents is the all-time high position for us, which is definitely representing a resistance point. This one right here I'm talking about. From there we were able to establish a downtrending channel, and we have the resistance line of it, which is coming down the way just like that. It's having a few establishment points and it's keeping the market inside a channel basically. On the other side, what we have at a specific time frame is a breakout out of this resistance line, which is not putting us in a full bull run or in a very aggressive movements, because we have some other advanced details such as 0.5. Basically, this is the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement green line that is appearing right here, and that is another detail of where we have faced resistance, as well as over here too, right? So after the breakout, the same resistance from 0.5 resistance Fibonacci line applied at $16.23, $16.3. That is one of the most important resistance zone for our current downtrending resistance channel, right? So the next thing what we have is definitely a great support that is no longer a support. That's one of the weirdest thing, right? So what happens is we've got this $15.8 support line that was supporting us while the structure was in a uptrending channel, right? So it was helping us to create a beautiful uptrending channel. We broke below that, and now we're retouching the downtrending resistance line, but for now this is going to react, and it already reacted as a support. So you can see how we were able to get out of the channel, which is looked like this. We moved out of another one, and now we're establishing a new tunnel. In the new one, we have the same line which reacted as a resistance. We have to act as a support during this structure, which is represented here. And it's confirming exactly on the line. So previous resistance trending line might act as continuous support in the future once the market is trading above it. Great. So what we have next is resistance point from $15.8, which is applied here. That's one of the things that we got to consider. If we don't break out of that and continue to this zone right here, where we have the next support from previous resistances, sorry, the next resistance from previous resistance as well, like previously, then we're going to get down the way again and retouch this important price point here, which is telling us a lot. One thing is, we've got the $15.4 support line, which is the horizontal support. On the other side, we have the 0.786 Fibonacci line at 15.45 cents, which is still reacting as a support. Good. If we break below that, then we're going to have our 14.7 up to 14.9, around $15, very close to that support zone as well. So this is the situation of NEO. These are the prices you would have to consider. What I'm suggesting you is always to screenshot this type of technical analysis, and not from now, from the first minutes since I've entered in this chart, because that's the time you got all these lines clearly drawn, right? You don't have any sort of additional brushes I made over here. Great, so you can use that for your future reference if you might think the technical analysis is something that speaks out the market. If you think it's not speaking out the market, then just don't use it. Going towards, we have the Litecoin, and this is basically 1 hour candlesticks in the same version. We have different data, different statistics, so we would have to work with this as well. One of the things I would like to share is the importance of a trending line, which is represented clearly here. While it is still shown in many examples out there during the history, if you know technical analysis, you will know that trending lines are meaning a lot. You can be a trending line trader and make a huge amount of money. What I like to say is to make a big amount of percentage, because that's what it matters. It just, amount of money is pretty much based on how much you put in. That's how it's reflected. What we care about here in the trading side is purely the percentage. We have to get out of a specific strategy. So there's people trading only on trending lines. They're called trending line traders, and they do trade on breakouts. And that's one of the case scenarios here. You've got this line drawn and you know about it even when you're here. So you got that line, you're expecting resistance. What you do is you keep adjusting your entry position for shorting. You can do leverage margin trading on BitMax, basically something about I have some videos on my channel. You can short the market, and what you can do is you can place an automatic order to be triggered for shorting if the market breaks below the resistance line, which is something I'm definitely suggesting to be a trader that does it on trends, specifically connected with the breakouts. Wait for the breakout. You might have to wait for a few days. Don't worry. What's going to be is you will have 4 out of 5 profitable trades, 8 out of 10 profitable trades if you do trade on breakouts out of trending lines. You have to be very patient, and you got to wait for it. Use a lot of the alarms, and that's the way it goes. Great. So another detail is, let's get back to this specific chart right here on the right side. Current channel resistance line, of course, from the same all-time high position of 7th of November structure. The same thing for Litecoin, like for NEO, Ethereum, Bitcoin, for all of these guys, it was the same. From there, we were coming down the way. The breakout that happened, it wasn't that powerful like in NEO's case, and it wasn't that clear. But the next thing that happened is a very quick crash down the way, and the market confirmed once again exactly on the line. So if you guys want me to share with you that it is exactly on the line, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to zoom in. That's the only thing I can do. And take a look at that. So you can see how our trending line comes down the way, and it has the confirmations on the line basically. Right, there you go. And then here it reacts exactly like it would be handcrafted on the line. But for now, it just goes on as support. The same thing like for NEO. Getting back to our original size here, there you go. Let's keep it like this. We've got our resistance for Litecoin from previous structure, which acted as a support. We're now gonna be on the resistance during a specific structure. If we touch that, if we touch slightly above $51, you're going to be on the resistance pressure for Litecoin. If you don't break out of that, do not expect anything higher. You're just gonna calm down to $49, which is 49.9. We're gonna say that 50 bucks support line right here, very important. And the downtrending resistance line of the channel, it's touching the $50 support line here as well. So that's very strong and powerful. That's why from here we were able to come back and to stop the flash crash. Great. So what if we break below this? We're going to talk about all the probabilities like I told you. We've got the $48 support line, which is having double bottom here. This is a very bullish movement for Litecoin users. The second bottom which is created very accurately out of the second bottom, this zone right here, where you don't see a very high volume selling pressure pushed against the market. You don't see that there. No, that's the place for an entry that is with very high probabilities considering multiple circumstances. From there till the all-time high position of the current structure, we've got a 13.5% profit possibility. If you take 10% profit out of that at 10x, that's a what was that? That is 100%. That means double. That's the power of the leverage. Everyone knows about leverage trading, margin trading. You guys can buy long, short, and use more money than you actually have. So that means you're going to speed up the trading you're doing. You can lose more, but you can also make more. It's just like a type of a high-speed trading that you're doing, which helps people that are able to control the regular trading, not the margin one. They do well with regular trading. They buy long, they make nice money already. They're traders for a few months doing this daily based on technical analysis, which is trading backed up by data and trading based on probabilities. Then you can go to leverage and make a lot of money, because what happens is just you multiply your numbers with the leverage you're going to select. Great. So that's kind of all about this two guys right here, NEO, Litecoin. Beautiful charts, because we're pretty clear on the movements right now, so we don't have to ask ourselves twice what is happening. We're aware of all the lines, of all the prices, and of all the details, right? So I'm going to speed up and wrap up this thing. You might see all around the corner bullish news. What does it mean a bullish news for you? Bullish news, right? So how do you I'm just going to tell you from psychology perspective, how do you see this great bullish news out there when the market is crashing? I mean, do you relate to that? Do you connect that? How hard is to see the market crashing while great news coming out from the blockchain development? Well, it shouldn't be hard at all if you think rationally, because there is no strict connection. There is some, but there is no strict and absolute connection between these two. That's why the market could go against then the news, which is happening for the last months. We have to be very careful on that and accept that the trading is a probability action. You always want to go for the highest probability, but that it's not going to give you any guarantee that the market is going in that direction. You are selecting. That's how we like to put it, and that's how the way it is. If you see bullish news out there by huge CEOs, all these media people which are put, and their purpose is to manipulate. That's their main purpose in a market like this, especially if they want to buy short or long, they kind of talk the opposite. That's the way it works. They have a purpose behind their communication. You hear great news out there, and you hear that for so many times, CEOs telling you that in July, in February, back then in December 2017, do you know what this guy was saying when in January 2018 we were all-time high for Ethereum? These guys were saying that Ethereum is going to be $1 million, $10,000, whatsoever, tens of thousands of predictions out there. Nonsense at the end of the day, because they were not realistically doing it on data. They were just doing it for marketing purposes. That's why there is no reason out there for people to throw out predictions in the dark out there if they do not have a marketing reason behind that. I don't have anything such, so I'm not going to do that, and I'm not looking for that kind of audience here on my YouTube channel. Well, thank you so much. Kind of we're reaching at the end. This is already a discussion. We can go and we can do it for hours. We're going to close this down here. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to hit your feedback in the comments area. It is important for me to see what kind of feedback I'm getting from my audience, as well as you can react on the like, dislike video, share this one if you prefer. This is going to help your friends and brothers, and of course feel free to touch that subscribe button if you think that's something that it's going to give you some value in the future. That's the only time you're going to click on the subscribe if you think the content is meaning money, because that's why we are here. We're not here for emotions. We're not here for any other thing. It's just money. If you want to do trading, that's all. You're doing it for money. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.